Hello, boys and girls. Welcome back to the NAO show. This is week 10 in review. That's Marky Mark, my lovely, lovely co host. Say hello to the fans.
Oh, shucks.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, hello,
And I
everybody.
am,
Hello, everybody. It's been a while, man. Yeah, been a while. I was thinking back, I had the daughter in town and missed one, and then we had the missed the forgotten computer. So I think everything finally lined up, and I'm able to get on a show. It's been what, 3 weeks, I guess. So
almost, yeah.
yeah. Glad to be back, man. Glad to be back.
Mike is still out living his best life on on the money he's making on us on YouTube.
Yeah. I don't know, man. We're raking it in. We may never see him again.
We might not see him again with our whole like 7 views.
Yeah.
Well, this is week 10 in review. We are on week 11, and you know what that means about week 11? Trade deadline.
That's right.
There's only two swinging dicks in this league that's made a trade, and that's me and Dilly. Do we think that's going to be the only trade?
I don't know. I think that you guys are dicks, but yeah, I'm not sure
They
if it's going to be
swing
the only one.
nice and low.
I'm sorry. I did misunderstood. I was going another way with that. So I should have had my Texas Live. I see you got your Texas Live
Yeah.
glass there. You got to get the tall boy though. The 12 ouncer does to fill it up.
All right, so in our we always do a pre-show, and Mark and I were just cutting up, talking shit, talking football, what have you. And I'm pouring my beer, and it goes to like here, and I'm like, man, I need the tall boy to fill this bitch.
Yeah.
And I've been having issues with audio tonight. He must not have heard me because that's literally what you just said.
Wow. Great minds think alike, I guess. Yeah, we'll have to take care of that. We'll make sure next time we have tall boys and we can fill that bad boy all the way up.
Hell yeah.
And what was his name? Ernest.
Ernest.
In honor of Ernest, who really probably is Ernesto, but insisted that it was Ernest.
Cheers to Ernest.
Yeah, cheers, Ernest. Oh, can you? Yeah, can't see me. There we go. There, I see it in there. Well, man, you want to get on to the show?
Let's do it to it. That's why the people are here. That's why our fans are locked in. That's why Ian is listening to this before everybody gets to. I know what you did last summer, Ian.
He's got him a portable satellite dish out there in the woods, man. You
Oh,
know
dude.
he's you know he's gonna listen.
Oh,
You
hell
know
yeah.
he's gonna listen. All
He's gonna come back to town for supplies. Yeah, okay. All right. You're not fooling nobody.
right. All right, let's get right on to it here. We'll go over last week's scores. We're gonna start with the DBs, 146, Goofy Jay-Z 76. So DB started the wrong QB, but that's about all they did wrong because they made up for it with CD, TJ, MOUSE.
Well, they're
what,
not the only
what do you
ones.
think about this one?
They're not the only ones that started the wrong quarterback. Goofy started the wrong quarterback too.
Yeah,
Trevor Lawrence
yeah,
only had 2 points. And then Russ Wilson on his bench has 18.
yeah. I mean, it doesn't make sense, does it? You're gonna start T-Law over Russell Wilson. I'm just wondering, do you think Lawrence is taking a step back? It looked like he was coming on last year, and he hasn't been good. I mean, he's got a lot less touchdowns than a lot lesser names. And I was going through a list today, and it was amazing the guys that are ahead of him in touchdown passes that have no business being ahead of him in touchdown passes.
Well, I mean, he was playing the San Francisco 49ers,
Yeah,
which
true,
I
true.
I benched them because I thought Trevor Lawrence and the Jags were freaking a lot better, more high potent than that. I was very fucking wrong. They had
You
20 fucking points on my bench.
got a little Get a little goofy-itis going on there, man. Starting the wrong defense. Dude, I
No,
started him in a league. I got that 22 points and put up 180 up in that league. So they were a big part of that.
speaking of Trevor Lawrence, Anna in our other league that may not be mentioned
Right?
benched him for Dobbs.
Look at that.
Talk about the cojones on that woman. Like,
Yeah, man.
golly,
Yeah, a lot bigger than mine for sure.
obviously.
Wow. But we digress.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
what
like Lamb had a fantastic day. He hit the all century mark in fantasy, 30 freaking points. That's always a good day. If you have a guy that scores 30 points, you should definitely get the W.
yeah, a lot of times that'll carry you to a win. Makes up for a lot of other deficiencies. So yeah, and we're talking about Goofy. He only had one defense to start this week. He had his two main defenses on bye in Philly and Kansas City. So he picked up Chicago. He got 7 points. That's not a bad not a bad add and start, Um,
Especially
but
for defense. Why not?
yeah, yeah. A lot easier decision this week. I was looking, it's ironic that his top two guys were the guys I traded to him, Jerome Ford and Tyler Lockett.
Oh, take your fucking victory lap somewhere else, man.
No, it's
What are you
like,
here
dang,
for?
man. I wish I could have gotten that trade done and kept those guys somehow, but that was his term. So, but yeah, those are good guys. I traded for both of them and traded them both away in the same season, but I definitely was high on both those guys this year. They're looking pretty good.
Christian Kirk had the same number of points as Jerome Ford, and you did not send him Christian Kirk.
Yeah. Well, it's the same. He's still the second highest guy on his team. He's tied with another guy, but it's still the same. So I don't know what your point is. I think I know what your point is. Your hat's covering it up there pretty well there. So
Oh, got it. Moving on.
moving on. All right. Yeah, not much more to talk about this one. We can go on to our next score.
The
Coming in.
DBs the 8 in first. They get the W. Whatever.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll hit the standings a little later, but pretty much, yeah. That one's a known. That one didn't change. We're gonna go next with the second highest score of the week. The Prince 144, FNG 122. So the tough luck just continues for FNG. You got decent production. You had a couple of key guys on bye with Devonta Smith and Cooper Kupp, but you got good production under your flex still, and had a decent day. Talk about
Yes.
your matchup there.
Well, the first thing I would like to say for our dedicated listeners, uh, there's a point gap between me and third overall highest score, and it was 1.8. So I'd like the fans to remember that 1.8. All right, moving on to this matchup. So I started two tight ends, and I think it was like the stars aligning and the moons coming to full fruition. I mean, when you start two tight ends, usually you're staring down the barrel of a shotgun, hoping that it just blows your head off, right? Freaking Kincaid comes in and gets me the tutty, 13.6 points. Let's go, first round pick.
That's not the one you wanted, but it's working out for you.
Yeah, I did not want to freaking draft a tight end in the first round.
I know, I know.
All right, so is Kincaid what we all thought Pitts was going to be?
I mean, yeah, probably so. Probably so. Pitts he's just a prisoner of a bad system right now, probably. And then he had the major injury last year, so kind of got a red shirt him for this year. He's still got a chance there, but yeah, I mean, this is the people were drafting Pitts in the top 5 in a lot of drafts, expecting that he might do something like Kincaid is doing here. So yeah, that's yeah, that Schultz on a big day for Houston. was okay. Didn't get the touchdown this week, but he was okay. I mean, 9 points out of your normal tight end position, you can't ask for much more in this climate. But
Yeah.
yeah, Kincaid, that was a nice flex for you. And something's been putting up them TDs too, man. So he's got a lot of TDs on the season. So
Five
he
straight
seems to be Wilson's favorite target right now. So kind of nobody else there is doing much besides Javante, who's coming on a little bit. But yeah, that was a good trade for you. This is what I expected out of Sutton last year when I traded for him in the draft, and it just never really materialized. And now you're kind of getting what I was hoping for last year out of him. It's been a good one to have. So
F and
yeah,
G. Bijan finds the pay dirt. He finds that little grassy knoll that is all painted. He gets the tutty.
yeah,
Fine.
second one rushing in 3 weeks. So yeah, another one. That same system as Pitts, just I don't know what the heck they're doing, but maybe coming out of the bye they'll let him be. He this past week actually the usage was really good, probably one of the best. I'm not looking at it right now, but I know that looking back with me having him in a couple of leagues, it was like, yeah, okay, finally, this is the usage I want to see. So maybe they'll keep that up out of the bye. So
There
well,
is
I just
bright spots on FNG's lineup right now. He is definitely. I feel like he is what I was last year. He's a guy that's scoring a lot, but he's just going up against people that are scoring just enough to beat him. And
yeah,
his points against are crazy high.
yeah.
Uh, and he has all those picks in the freaking draft. So I don't. He's only going to get better. So I think, as you like to
And
say, better days are ahead. It just might be next year.
yeah, yeah. It wasn't a horrible day for him. I mean, 122 is not too bad to put up, but um, Drake Drake London let him down a little bit. It was a great matchup against Arizona, and London was coming off the groin. He may not be 100%, so it wasn't a great day for him.
That offense
Godwin
is
is
100%.
Yeah, no, 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 that's true. And then Godwin, another one that was a little bit lower. Those guys, if they hit what they're capable of, you might have given him more of a run. But yeah, just like I said, tough luck for him this year, man. Really has been. All right, we'll go on to our next score. We've got the Pooh Crew 142, just a little below you as for the second turn, as you pointed
1.8.
out. As you pointed out. Uh, A-bomb is okay. Puku 142, A-bomb 100. So, yeah, Puku's getting healthy at the right time. And A-bomb kind of continues his bipolar run at the playoffs.
Yeah. He's gonna he has the potential, not saying that he's going to, but he has the potential to back into the playoffs.
Like he
Freaking
has before.
exactly.
He's got the points, It's crazy. He's got the points. He's just so up and down, you know.
I mean, the points for the last few years have been the deciding factor. The
Yeah.
record has been tied from 4, 5, 6, and
Yeah.
almost 7. I think 2 years ago it was all the way down to 7. And it was points 4 that got him into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And once you're in the playoffs, all bets are off. It don't matter.
True. Yeah. Yeah, I still think his Buffalo guys are letting him down. Allen's just not having the big season. He's had that defense. That defense has helped him a lot over the last couple of years for Buffalo, and they've fallen off with Milano being out and White being out. They're just not the same defense they used to be either. So
I thought it was funny what Tank Top Mike sent from Cabo with all of his extra money he's getting when the game was playing. Freaking Josh Allen. I didn't know Josh Allen threw this many picks. I was like, oh man, it can't be going well for Josh Allen.
yeah, yeah, no, just not a. They're having a rough season right now. So that's hurting him a little bit. I think Ridley, I remember week one, I was like, yeah, Ridley's like found money, I said, because he had that big week one, and he hasn't done anything since. So
1 week
it's
and done.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I looked into that a little bit more this past week, and Ridley's just not he's not where he was. He's not doing well against press, and he's not getting the separation. And he missed a while, and he's a little bit older, and I don't think he might have lost half a step or something.
It
I don't
sounds like
know.
he hadn't played for a year.
Yeah. So there's still time to turn it around, but he was a little older coming into the league, so he's definitely already up there in age. So it's yeah, it's sad because I was pulling for the guy. I remember when he put that statement out talking about when he was out of football and talking about depression and stuff. So I've been pulling for the guy, but yeah, it's just not quite working out for him. Kirk's still the guy there. Kirk's been doing pretty well. And
Mhm.
even with Zay Jones out, Ridley's just not stepping up. So
Right.
but we talked about T-Law, so not great there.
Yeah.
So
Shout out from my boy Mike Evans, 143 yards in a tutty,
yeah, let's look at Evans real quick.
23.
It doesn't have what's that? Go ahead.
Yeah, 23 points.
23 point. Yeah, no, he had a good day. I'm just trying to see if he's anywhere close to 1,000 again. He's got that string going. He's not looking great right now. He's been a little dinged up this year, although he doesn't look like he's missed a game.
He's at 737 yards right now.
737. Yeah, he's got the extra game to do it. So yeah, I think he's trying to come on. He knows it's time to get that 1,000 in. That's quite a record he's got going there.
Man, I really want him to get it too. Like, I
Yeah.
want, I want Thanksgiving, I want 4th of July, and I want Mike Evans to get 1,000 yards. Those are in that order.
Yeah, yeah. I think he'll get there. All right, let's move on to our next score. We got the Johnsons, 120, 127. Tank Top Mike, 96. So both of us are going in the direction we intended, but will either of us be able to go the distance? That's the big question.
I was clapping because Tank Top actually did what he wanted to do.
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting better at that. He's been struggling on the tank part, but
Yeah,
he's getting
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, after man, my last week was so abysmal, man. It was nice to get a decent score this week. And Mike's been tearing it up, so I definitely was going in pretty worried after losing two in a row and having such a horrible week last week. So, um, but yeah, I think the big one for Mike this week was John Dotson, man. Just the goose egg, only two targets. I don't know what the heck they're doing with Dotson there, man, but the guy's good. You don't know to throw him the ball. He gets results if you throw him the ball. It's just the weirdest thing to
What
me that he's so up and down this year.
what does John Dotson, DJ Moore, and Kyle Pitts all have in common? We're all
I don't
fucking
know.
uber talented on shitty ass teams.
Yeah, no, very true, very true. I don't know.
Well,
Well, here's the weird thing. Howell is like, I think he's leading the league in passing yards. He's like the QB3 right now. So how in the hell is Dotson not a bigger part of that?
because
I
he's
don't get it.
dumb and he doesn't throw to his best player? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't get it. So if not for that, he might have given me a better run. And down week for Pickens, down week for Judy. So had some decent plays otherwise. But yeah, I mean, even Antonio Gibson was better than Dotson, and that that just shouldn't happen, man.
Well, uh, looking at Tank Top Mike, we keep on giving him making jokes about him wanting the tank. The guy has one of the highest averages of hitting on players playing the best lineup he has. Right now he has 80.2% average. in comparison, the DBs next week has 76.4% average.
Yeah.
So he's playing the people that he needs to be playing, but they're just not doing what he needs to be doing. And this week, it was very apparent that what hurt him was Mahomes being out on bye.
Yeah.
Eric Carr going to be plugged into action.
And he didn't finish the game. So, yeah, that's as big as the goose egg by Dotson that Carr couldn't finish the game, and he didn't have a choice but to start Carr this week. So I guess I caught him on a good week, Caught him on a good week. So
are there any questions moving forward into the trade deadline? This is the trade deadline week. I think we should make some conversation about that maybe. What do you think your goal is at the trade deadline without giving up too much of your strategy?
I'm trying to add a piece or two, but it's tough right now. As we were taping, I got a message from one guy saying that he was thinking on one, and he said it just wasn't going to work for him. So I'm trying, man, but it's not getting there. And I've been trying since last week. I didn't wait till the last minute. I've been working on it since last week, but just not getting too far with it. So we'll see.
Is this in the NAO?
Oh yeah. I mean, we're talking NAO.
Twice if it's Evan.
We're not. No. Well, I'm talking to Evan, but trying to get a piece or two. Yeah, I mean, if I get up into the playoffs, then I need a piece or two more to have any kind of chance at it. So definitely looking, but not going to go crazy either, because just like with my trade with Goofy, the idea there was getting young guys, good guys, but young guys that if I don't have draft picks, then I'm getting guys that are going to be building blocks moving forward anyway. So, so that's what makes it tough for me, is I'm trying to get a piece or two without going crazy on tearing down the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So
you must feel very, very good about Javonte coming back and looking like he's taken over the backfield once again, and looking like the guy that you drafted at 103.
Yep, got him in a couple of leagues, and glad to see that he's getting back there. It's funny. I didn't expect anything from him until about week 8. Anyway, I thought he'd start off on the pup, so I wasn't counting on him being in, and then he was in, and he wasn't doing much. So it's sort of like what I expected, just that he got in there earlier than I thought he was going to. But yeah, he's starting to look good, and Denver's playing better. They look like the laughing stock of the league not too long ago, but they're starting to pull it together, and he's been solid. So yeah, it's great to have him and Hall as the 1-2 punch. Isn't too bad, man. I'm liking that. So
well, if we don't freaking watch ourselves, freaking Denver could win their division. I'm just saying, they are on the same freaking win-loss as Minnesota. I know this is a fantasy show and we're not supposed to talk about NFL, but I mean, they have a shockingly good record, and if they go beat Buffalo, wait, they just played Buffalo, didn't they?
They just played Buffalo, and you said Minnesota for some reason. I was trying to make the connection there.
I misspoke. I apologize.
That's all right, man. That's all right.
But yeah, they could be in the running to play some big time football. So that just means big points for fantasy owners. Hopefully.
And the defense is playing better. I saw that Landon picked him up today. I thought about picking them back up. I had them for the last couple of years. I thought about picking it back up, but I'm in good shape on defense. That would just been a lateral move. So I wasn't surprised to see him get picked up, though. They're worth picking up. They're playing better. They're not the same team that gave up 70 points to Miami. So
Well, there's
yeah,
only one way to go from a game
yeah,
like that, and that's up. You can't
right.
get worse.
Yeah, yeah, true. All right, let's see. We've got one more score to go over here real quick. We'll do Silly Dilly here. Silly Dilly 87, Dr. Donkey and the Dumbass 78. So good news for Dylan, man. Newly acquired RB1 Brian Robinson carried the day for him. Go Dilly. Go Silly Dilly. Yep.
I know
Uh,
him as a avid listener of the show is going to really enjoy you, of all people, giving him props on Brian Robinson, who is number 4 overall now after the week, and number
four.
29. Well, not 29 overall, number 4 RB in the league. I
I
mean,
thought I listened to his podcast. They said he was 6, but yeah, it's 4. Maybe it was a different format. Maybe it was PPR.
maybe
Yeah,
that's full PPR.
number 4.5 PPR. So yep,
This guy is
yeah,
averaging 13 points in half PPR per day. That is a very good guy to have.
yeah. And boy, he's got a lot of touchdowns this year. He did it receiving this week. It was only 38 yards on the ground, but 119 through the air with a touchdown. So um, if he can if he can keep up the dual threat stuff, then maybe he can finish up there in that RB1 area.
Well,
So
looking over here at the Humpty Dumpty fell off a wall and dumbass couldn't put him back together again. Freaking Quentin Johnson breaks
yeah,
10 points this year.
yeah,
Welcome to the fucking football league, Quentin Johnson.
yeah. Not a great line. He got the touchdown, and
You're saying, oh, he's automatically touchdown dependent, blah, blah, blah.
no, he's. I thought he was a project from the beginning. I wasn't looking to draft him because I thought he was going to be more of a project, and he's going to get his chance now. I mean, I think wasn't Keenan Allen. Was he in and out of the lineup? I know he dinged up his shoulder a little
Yeah,
bit,
I think he
so
was dinged up. I think he was in and out.
I
Yeah.
mean he had a monster day still.
Yeah.
Um,
I think he
but
came back
yeah,
and had a huge touchdown or something like that too. I didn't
yeah,
watch
I
the
know.
game.
Yeah, he had a big game anyway, but I mean, this is his chance now. He's going to get more opportunities with Williams out for the year, and Palmer got hurt, and all of a sudden it's him and Keenan Allen. Even Jalen Guyton's out there getting targets now. Well, like not just long targets, he's actually getting um, intermediate, short and intermediate stuff too.
Stuff
So
that I traded for 2 years ago from FNG, and I was like, man, Guyton looks so good in preseason. He's getting all these catches. He's catching everything. I
yeah.
sent a third round pick for Guyton, and he was absolutely disappeared like Houdini.
He's their cardio guy for sure, but now they're gonna have to throw it to him. There's nobody else out there, so good chance for QJ to do a little something. We'll see what he does with it. It's 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 not great yet for him, um, but this is probably the best thing for him to be able to get out there. I don't think he'd be seeing the field quite as much if their other guys were healthy. So could be the best thing for him. And he's a good athlete. He's just got to separation and route running. He's got to elevate his game there a whole lot if he's going to be worth that first round draft capital. I think anyway. That's just one man's opinion, and I'm pretty much a dumbass. So.
I don't know if Tank Top Mike could videotape in from Cabo. I think he would be right there with you. He is not high on QJ at all either.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we'll see.
Well,
We'll
let's
see.
get into these standings. What do you say there, Marky Mark?
Yeah, I mean, we'll skip over the Miyagi because Goofy got it again, and it's kind of just how things are going for Goofy. When I talked to Goofy, he just, what's the matter?
We forgot the trade.
And I forgot you guys.
I quit. I
We'll
quit.
go to the trade. We'll go to the trade. I forgot that you guys changed it up on us. We never used to talk about trades in the beginning. And I always put it on the wrong side of the sheet, and I had my sheet on the wrong side. We'll go back to we'll go to the trade. We'll do
All
the
right.
standings. We'll do the Miyagi. We'll do the standings. We'll go to the trade.
All right.
It'll all be
All
good,
right.
man. It'll be good. Don't worry, man.
Okay.
Don't
All
worry.
right. Let's go to the standings before
Don't
we hit
stop
the trade.
taping. Don't stop taping. Yeah, only
All
thing
right.
for Miyagi, when I talked to Goofy, he was talking about unsanctioned polls. He was talking about going to Superflex, and when's that going to happen? I don't know. He wasn't making a lot of sense. So I not much to say on the Miyagi.
I am not ready for I'm not ready for two QB leagues. I'm not ready for it.
No. Yeah, it's
God,
stressful enough doing one of them, right?
it has been a fucking absolute shit show this year in injuries.
Yeah.
What,
Well,
7 rookie quarterbacks have started this year? Oh
yeah,
my God, it's so bad.
crazy. And yeah, and you're talking about a true two QB. It's not a super flex.
Yeah, it's two
So
QBs that have to
you got to
start the
start two
game.
QBs, and it's been horrible, man. All right,
All
why
right,
don't we
let's
talk
get into
about the
these
standings real quick?
standings.
Yeah, yep. Go ahead, go ahead.
All right, so the top three stay as they are with the DBs, Pooh Crew, and the Prince in that order. Uh, Tank Top is still sitting in there at number 4 with a 6-4 record and 1,072 points. I'm saying the points because they matter. At
Yeah.
number 5, we got the long-haired Johnson coming up into the 5th, moving up one spot. Look at those goalie locks at 6-4, which is also the same record as Tank Top Mike. His points for are 1,003. We have
He's got me by 69, which just happens to be my favorite number.
oh yeah, moving on
So
from
I
that fucking stuff.
what,
Take your
man?
Goldilocks in someplace else there, Marky Mark.
What, man? That's my lucky number.
Falling down from 5 to 6 is the A Bombers. His record is 5-5, which could be the deciding factor. Being that game back, we have a few games left. I don't know if you play him at all going down your schedule, but that is going to be fun to watch. But the
Yeah.
thing that he got over y'all's is he's got
Yeah.
points.
Yeah.
He's got 1,261 points. That is almost 200 over King Top Mike, who's in 4th place.
Yeah, where I've had the ups and downs on scoring, he's at least, if he's not getting 200, he's at least getting 100, 110.
Yeah.
So he's those couple of big games is I got I got the one big game at 160 something, and then I put up 50 freaking points.
The next
Um,
week.
really sorry guys that I wasn't here to take my lumps on the Miyagi.
I bet you were.
Might have had the lowest score. No, man. I mean, hey, I own it. Might have had the lowest
Got
score.
my laptop.
Yeah, might have. Fuck you, man.
I know, I
Forget.
just give you a hard
Yeah,
time.
yeah. But it might be the lowest score of all time, man. I don't know. It was horrible. So yeah, it doesn't average out too well. Whereas at least he's in 100, 110 or so if he's not winning.
Yes,
So let's
sir.
go to the bottom four.
Bottom 4, there's a big drop off between 6 and 7. There is 2 wins between them. So FNG right now is sitting at 3-7 after the loss from your boy, and he has 1,109 points scored. Dilly moves out of the gutter and moves up into 8th place. Congratulations, Dilly, with the same win-loss record as FNG, 3-7. After his win last week, he has 929 points scored. Jay-Z, the rapper, busting, and not in a good way. 2-8. He drops from 8 into the 9th spot. I think it's time to rebuild. What do you say there?
Most points against too, man.
Absolutely. He does have the most points against him. He has 1,279 points against him. The next person that is close to him, anywhere close to him, is FNG with 1,234 points. That is some crazy numbers that they would have to make up to get over the hump there. And then 10th, for the 10th week in a row, is Humpty Dumpty and the Dumbass.
For some reason they want to prove me wrong. I said they wouldn't go winless, and I don't know why. They just want to prove me wrong, I guess, man. They're determined to prove me wrong. Yeah, that's crazy, man. They've been close a few times. All right, well, let's go on to that trade, shall we? We do have one trade to talk about, and that is between yourself and Silly Dilly. So you received James Conner, and Silly Dilly receives Noah Brown, Romeo Dobbs, and a 2024 third rounder, which is Goofy's pick originally. So you and I didn't talk about this ahead of time. I purposely wanted to wait until live show time. I just want to see. I think I know what you were doing, but I want to see. Tell me what you were doing here with this trade. I think you got dissed pretty bad by Humpty in chat after this. Which I mean, it doesn't take much for him to diss somebody pretty hard.
Yeah. He was probably in the bathroom just pooping and wanted to take a shot at somebody. So I didn't take it personally one bit.
So tell me what your mindset was with this one.
All right, so my mindset with this one was that Dobbs has been a little touchdown dependent to make any points, but he's been a good player and he's young, which for me right now in what I'm trying to do is not helping. Like I'm really deep at wide receiver, and Sutton has been he's been touchdown dependent also, but he's been doing really, really well. And he's been getting the targets on top of it from a quasi better quarterback at Russell Wilson over Jordan Love, I guess. And actually I was trying to go after Connor in the offseason. He was one of my targets in the offseason that I was trying to get for the even beginning of the season. But I thought Dilly knew that I was running back dependent. Like I needed a running back. And if I was going to make a move, it was probably going to be for a running back for the depth. So I gave him one offer. He sat on it. I gave him another offer. He sat on it. And then I had to throw in the third round pick to get it over the line. So good on Dilly to freaking hold fast on what he needed. He got a pick. He got a guy that's young, and he got two guys that he can start right now. And I got somebody that I can put right into my lineup and somebody that I can flex in if need be later down in the playoffs.
I hope Connor does like he did down the stretch last year for you, because he was like the RB6 down the stretch. I don't know how many games that was, but he definitely helped people win some leagues last year. And coming off the injury, so you just hope that he's back and he does what he's been doing. They just picked up somebody. Who was it, man? They just picked somebody up. Oh, they picked up Michael Carter.
Oh, yeah.
They picked up Michael Carter.
He
I
got
don't
cut
think that's
with
a
the Jets.
I don't think that's a threat to Connor at all, but somebody else in the mix, and probably just shows that they don't have a lot of confidence in the backups.
Marlon Mack is on this team
Oh
still.
wow, yeah, gosh, poor Marlon,
Shadow of Marlon Mack.
blast from the past there. Yeah, yeah, DeMarcado, it's okay, but I guess he got dinged up a little bit too, and Ingram is just not a great. It's funny. I thought he might rise up the chart there, but he just hasn't been good at all. So yeah, so Michael Carter just in the mix. I don't think he's going to be a threat. Like it's pretty much Connor's backfield as long as he can stay healthy. So it's not a bad depth piece for you. This is the kind of move, I think this is the kind of move that I like to see Dylan make because he got a young receiver. Um, I haven't been I was never real high on Dobbs. He's definitely been better than I thought he would be. Um, it's yeah, I don't want to. It's funny. I'm kind of neutral on him. I'm not up on him. I'm not down on him. I wasn't trying to draft him really, um,
But
but
that's an increase from where you stood at the beginning of the season. The beginning of the season, you wanted nothing to do with him. You were like out on him completely. But now you're more neutral. So you've kind of seen a little
yeah,
bit. Because I mean, I think the wide receiver one is still up in the air. Christian Watson's been back, and he
right,
hasn't done jack and or shit. So
yeah. I'm real high on Jaden Reed, so that for my Dobbs takes was more. I think with Reed coming in, that I thought that this would be the year for Dobbs to break out, the second year breakout kind of thing, and kind of go on to be a really good piece. But I think Jaden Reed, I'm high on him, and so that was why I was a little lower on Dobbs. But Dobbs he's a good contested catch guy. He just a little raw coming from what is Nevada, I think he came out of, not a big school, not a great system there. So he just needed to polish his game up some, and he's been better than I thought he was going to be. So I'll definitely give him a lot of credit. Um, and uh, and I honestly think Watson, I don't think Watson's going to make it, man.
you
uh,
calling bust on Watson?
Yeah, man. I gotta say, I don't think it's gonna happen for Watson. So definitely looking better for Dobbs. I think I if I had to guess and bet money on it, I'd say that I think Reed could ascend to be kind of their top guy, but he's a slot guy, and you got to have a guy like Dobbs, and so he can do a little something. I talked about Dobbs a lot longer than I thought I was going to, but
Well, my last point on this trade is a trade calculator comment. So on trade calculator, uh, Dobbs for Connor was straight, like fair trade on the Connor.
I can see
But
that. Yeah.
the situation dictated that I give more because he knew that I was dependent on him. Connor would be a good piece for me moving forward. And I wanted him. Like
Yeah.
he knew I
Yeah.
wanted him because I was going after him at the beginning of the season. So I had to add more to it. So good on Dilly for that.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to pay up for a running back, even an older one. That's why I say I like this move for Dylan because he got I don't know, he got really good value. If he'd waited till next year, he might not have gotten that value out of Connor. And he gets a good young receiver in Dubs. We'll see if he can elevate it to more than good. And I could be definitely wrong, 100%, but he got a third round pick. So draft capital is important to him right now. Noah Brown is doing well right now. I was high on him last year, had him on my roster, thought he was going to break out, and he did emerge, but he got dinged up a little bit last year, and ended up, they didn't keep him. They let him go to Houston. Two big games of Stroud, who's playing his ass off right now, and Woods has been out. So I think Dilly has Woods too. So whoever is the guy between Noah Brown and Woods, he's got him. in a really good offense right now with a really good quarterback right now. So it's
Yeah.
definitely somebody that he can now, Brown he might seem younger because he hasn't been getting much playing time for a long time. He's 27 years old. So he's a little bit older guy, but someone that he can get in there the next year or two going along with Stroud there. And if he can keep up what he's been doing the last couple of weeks, it's gonna be good,
Heck
So
yeah.
so I like it. I like it for Dylan. Fun. We talked.
I just want to make a comment. I
Yeah, go
think
ahead.
that's the longest you've talked positive about Dylan in NAO show history. All right. If we have a historian listening from the fucking backwoods of wherever the fuck his father-in-law is gonna bury him, he needs to put this in as history in the
Yeah,
make.
there you go. There you go. All righty. Well, we got to get on the matchups here. We're
Let's do it.
running a little long, so we'll run through these quick. We got the marquee mark matchup of the week.
Don't be me, don't be me, don't be me, don't be me, don't be me.
We've got oh wait, no, I'm sorry, not the Prince. We got Tank Top Mike
Woo! Let's go.
going up against the DBs. So this is a big one for Tank Top in his master plan to be the top tanker. And if you look at it, the DBs are taunting him right now by starting undrafted free agent from Illinois, Tommy DeVito. He's even questionable right now with a shoulder injury, and they're rocking him in as their QB1 this week.
He would have outscored freaking Jackson last week too. So just saying. Just
Did he outscore Jack? No, Jackson was not good, that's for sure. But
Lamar Jackson,
he?
yeah, outscored Lamar Jackson.
I don't think he outscored him, did he? Gosh, Dallas put a waxing on that ass. That was the real NFL Miyagi last week.
Lamar Jackson had 13.2 and DeVito had 13.5.
Wow. All hail garbage time.
Oh, points are points, just like
Points are
Evan
points.
said. They all add the same.
That's right. That's right.
I'm just surprised they're not playing Brock Purdy against Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
They may end up doing that.
If Tank Top gets this one,
we will all throw a fucking party for him.
He'll conceivably score a lot of points.
Conceivably.
And yeah, he could very well put himself in a position of no return.
If Tank Top wins this fucking game, he's gonna be on suicide watch. Like, I'm gonna have to call him every day to see if he's okay. Because like he ultimately burned it down at the beginning of the season, hoping that what he was giving up was enough to get him into the bottom four to play for the first round pick, the first 101 pick. And that's why he gave up Eckler and Diggs for that pick. You know what I mean? And like, if he beats the fucking number one team in the league and kind of like cements his avenue to the fucking playoffs, the playoffs? What?
Well, I'm just scrolling down through. It looks like he's got his full complement of guys. So
hey, he might be the tank top tanker, but his lineup is not tanking. He has one of the highest hit rates on his freaking starting lineup.
Yeah, he's got his full complement. So do the DBs, though. Funny to look down and see McCaffrey in a flex spot, but
it's only because he's on Sunday at 4:00. That's proper management of his lineup. Good job.
So is Rashad White, but someone wants to take victory laps. So
Rashad White is also in the number one RB spot. So yes, victory laps haven't been had.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one here for the top tanker.
All right, so let's give a little analytics for this matchup. The DBs are averaging 153.71 points. The tank top is just slightly behind him at 107 average per week. So we got you, tank top. I hope Cabo's being real nice to you. I hope you get the W this week. Let's go, baby.
All right, we'll go on to our next matchup. We've got A-Bomb going up against Goofy Jay-Z.
Ooh, this could be a good one.
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, man, A-Bomb has the points, but he needs the wins now to keep pace for the playoffs. And we got Goofy, who's 2 games out of the who cares. He could win one without hurting his chances for the 101. So I'm asking Goofy just to do me a solid here.
Keep A-Bomb out of the fucking playoff hunt.
Set your best lineup, Goofy. That Miyagi's got to hurt. That Miyagi's got to hurt, man. You got to come back strong, man. You know, you can't be happy with that Miyagi.
A-Bomb has not set his lineup yet, but he has 2 people on bye, and they're freaking Hill from New Orleans and Aguilar. So I think those are going to be 2 guys that he can probably fix pretty quickly.
He gets Tyreek Hill back this week, so that's a no-brainer. Oh wait, no, he doesn't have Hill in this league. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I forgot. I was thinking
Pacheco might go in there, obviously, and then maybe Gabriel Davis if he's feeling froggy, you know.
Yeah, it's a shame that Zay Jones can't get back in there now. Zay Jones got in trouble somehow with the law. I didn't see the whole deal there. Yeah, he got arrested for something, it seems like. So that's kind of it's a shame that he was
misdemeanor domestic battery charge.
Yeah, he's probably
Come on,
sick of
stop hitting your wives.
Yeah.
Let them hit you. It's more fun that way.
Yeah, and injured. And that's a shame because you remember he had that incident in the hotel where he basically kind of went crazy, you know, and you thought he was going to be out of the league after that, and he made a pretty good comeback, you know, and he's had played some good ball. So you hate to see that after he kind of got things cleaned up and was doing well. Yeah, he's got a little bit of work to do there. I forgot I was thinking of our other league that we don't talk about where he's got Tyreek. It's not this league. So yeah, maybe he's staring down Gabe Davis. Maybe Kyle Phillips, man. He's a sleeper. Phillips has been doing a little bit more with I think Burks has been out in Tennessee, so
I'll be right back. You keep going.
Gotta get the dog. So is he on right now?
Yeah, he's good.
I was gonna tell the story of you going and finding him with a roll of toilet paper that he was doing up. And the way you yelled, I thought he'd gotten a hold of your cat.
Not today, George.
Sean yells a lot. He was like, "Put it down!" And I was like, "Oh shit! Does he have the cat?"
No, the cat would fuck him up.
Oh, it was just a roll of toilet paper.
10 years his senior, and she would destroy him.
You're right.
A-Bomb.
A-Bomb hadn't set his lineup. Right now, Goofy's favored by a couple of points. He's got Hurts back this week, which is good.
Very good.
Yeah, still, you look at his lineup and the guys in there with the Q, and that's the story of his season this year with the injuries, man.
Yeah.
But he's got some guys, man. You know, Goofy's got the guys, but Hurts, you got Ford, you got Jones, you got Hopkins, you got Kirk. He's got guys there, man, that can do it. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
Lock it down there in the flex.
And I've heard that Jameson Williams is doing all the things that he can to help the team win without catching the football. He's running down the field using the speed, hitting the blocks, he's doing everything to make his team fall in love with him, and he's just not getting the wide receiver looks that he's expecting.
Not Kurt Goff. He just he loves us Amon Ra, and
Sun God, baby.
Laporta's got the chemistry now, and Williams just has to get the chemistry going too. But Goff is one of those guys, he's going to go to his dependables, and
Yeah.
Williams just isn't there yet. And that doesn't mean he can't be. It's just still early. Goofy still got the Chicago defense in there going up against Detroit. I think that will change.
That's
But
gotta change. He's got to be
but
looking at
but
like
look
the
at
Chiefs
here.
against Philadelphia or Philadelphia against the Chiefs.
I was just gonna say he's got KC Philly playing each other, so that's not a great choice either.
Who do you
Pick-
like more?
Yeah, pick your
And
poison
he's
there.
a Phillies fan?
And Philly's dropped off a little bit. Their secondary is not great. Up front they're great, but the secondary is not so good, and so it's been a little odd right now in Philly for the defense.
I feel like as a Phillies fan, you just gotta hedge your bet and just put the Chiefs in there and be like, if we lose, at least I'm doing well in fantasy, right?
Yeah. They're both coming off bye. It's in Kansas City.
Yeah, they both had a bye last week, and then they both play each other this week.
Yeah,
I
Hurts
found that out
is
on the New Heights podcast with Travis and his brother. Fantastic podcast. You should all watch it. It's fucking hilarious.
Hurts is a little bit dinged up. So maybe Kansas City would be a play. I don't know. Do you want to play Chicago against Detroit? That's a tough one, man. I'd hate to be staring that one down.
Chicago against anybody.
He might be looking at waiver wire, seeing if anything's out there. But yeah, that'll be interesting. Poor Goofy and his defenses, but it's a big call this week, man. Daddy needs a win.
Daddy needs a win.
All right, we'll go on to our next matchup. We got Silly Dilly going up against the Prince.
Ooh.
So I know Dylan would love to play spoiler with his number one CSer, but you might be getting JJ
I'm number
back.
one in his heart.
You are the number one CSer, man. Number one. No, it's not even close. Number two is not even close. So I don't know, man. You and I could be number one. I might have overtaken you, man. But I didn't mean to, man. I just kind of got lucky. But yeah, you might get JJ back. You're coming in with a stacked roster, man. You got no buys to speak of, and so yeah, it's going to be a tall.
Lave on buy.
Yeah.
Lave and AK are both on bye, but I'm making it up with my newly acquired Connor, and I'm trying to rub all my freaking horseshoes and cats' feet, rabbits' foots, and
we know what you're rubbing.
Fantasy gods that JJ comes back.
We know what you're rubbing. You should say that until after we're done taping, but that's neither here nor there.
Look, Mom, no hands.
Moving on. Yeah, let's see. He's got Dobbs in there this week. He's got Noah Brown in there. I hate to see that Brown popped up questionable with, what has he got? Knee.
I 100% did not know about the knee when I traded him, or else I would have traded him. I don't do that. Like, people that are hurt, I don't trade them to other people.
I think it just came out today, didn't it? And you and I have him in another league, and didn't have him in last week for the big points, and then we got a lot of buys this week, so we're like, oh, good, we'll put Noah in there, and now he pops up on questionable. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was just today that news came out. That's the first I saw it anyway. So he's got Thielen back, and he's got, I guess Thielen wasn't on bye last week, was he? No, they played last week. And they were horrible last week. That was the only problem.
They're playing Dallas this week, so
yeah. He picked up the Houston defense. I dropped him. And he picked them up, and they got Arizona, so that's a good one for him. But I see you got that San Francisco defense in there this week.
Hell yeah,
dude, did you not see that Chase Young got traded to San Francisco?
I don't want to talk about it, all right?
Dude, I've got San Francisco in one league, and I mean, I couldn't get him in there fast enough, man. They were still on bye when I had him in there.
Marky Mark, I don't like. We were playing. They still did okay. Like 13 points as a defense is still good. I just, what the fuck was I thinking? Like, Chase Young's
Same,
on
man.
the defense on the opposite side of fucking Bosa. This is like,
Yeah.
play the fucking 49ers. Yeah, I know. Like, I won't make that mistake again. I got it.
Well, hey, at least you're in pretty good shape in the standings, and it didn't come. It shouldn't come back to haunt you, you know. Well, it'll be an interesting matchup here. I think Dylan's got all of his players definitely have to hit a little bit of the over. He can't afford to hit any of the unders. Because you got a pretty stacked lineup in there. I'll tell you what though, man. I'll tell you what though. I am concerned if Burrow at Baltimore on a short week. That's a oof. We're going to see what Burrow's made of this week. That's a big game for him, you know, because they lost that game last week, and now their chances of the playoffs is a lot slimmer. And
Let's
now
go
they got to
back
go
to the
in.
fucking scoreboards
They got to
of
go
Burrow
into.
versus Baltimore.
They got to go into Baltimore and do that thing. So,
All right. So week 2, Joe Burrow played Baltimore in Cincinnati, 15 points when he was struggling. Last year, when he played Baltimore, the first time was 17.2, and that was at Baltimore. When they came to Cincinnati, it was 11 points. So there's it's a divisional game. He has done pretty well against them at Baltimore. I'm just saying. I get what you're saying. I don't believe it. I think Joe Burrow's gonna go in there and smash. It's fine. That's what I'm putting out in the world. Positive vibes for the world.
You go, man. There you go. You got to do it.
If Justin Jefferson does not get activated off of IR, I will be rocking Kareem Hunt, the 100% touchdown dependent running back that just lost their fucking quarterback. So that'll be fun. That'll be really good. That puts me in a really warm spot in my heart.
No, I'm just saying, looking at the quarterback head to head in this matchup, I'd have to give Dylan the edge there with Howell going up against the Giants, and with Howell being the yardage leader right now and the QB3. You know, another big surprise on the year.
I can't argue it. The Giants are fucking hot dog shit.
Yeah. So
dog shit.
Yeah. Well, could be a little more interesting than it should be, but we'll see what happens here. And then I probably should stop talking nice about Dylan because you guys are gonna send an emergency. Law enforcement will be knocking on my door to do a wellness check on me here.
What the EMTs, sir? Are you okay? Are you having a stroke?
He's lost it, man. You got to go get that guy. He's lost it.
He is absolutely off his fucking rocker.
Finally went
Aliens
off his
have taken over his body.
All right, let's move on to our next matchup. We got the Johnsons going up against FNG.
Ooh, this will be a good one.
Well, I'm catching FNG on a heavy bye week for him, but I'm still not taking him lightly. I'm kind of in must-win mode from here on out if I want any chance in the playoffs. So
I think it's going to be fun because FNG is averaging 110 points per game, and then you're averaging almost exactly 100 points per game. So that's pretty darn close. That is a little bit somebody overachieving and somebody a little bit underachieving, and we're right in it. So that just has the makings of a very, very close matchup this week.
Just looking at my lineup, I'm like,
I was like, did I lose the Marky Mark? What are we doing here?
You didn't, but I'm just like, I was just wondering, do I need to make a change there? Yeah, I may need to. Anyway.
FNG, you got him tinkering on Wednesday, man. It's all but one. It's all but
Wednesday's okay. But yeah, he's got Bijan, Drake London on by this week. Who else was it? Seemed like there were some others here. Maybe that was the big ones. But yeah, I just I like going up against him with those guys out a lot better. Um, yeah, the Patriots defense, which is not a big deal, but he's got to play the Arizona defense now, unless he goes on the waiver wire or something. So they're going up against Houston. That's not a great outlook there. So yeah, just looking up and down, I definitely. I know the other one too. What are you laughing about, man? You're just looking at me like.
NAO show fans, this is the meltdown before the storm. He is having a perfect mind moment where he's trying to figure out how he can nickel and dime fucking points on F&G here. F&G doing great. He's questioning everything about himself. Keep it up.
And indulge me, guys, while I set my lineup, if you don't mind.
Yeah, exactly. While you walk your way through every setup.
Yeah, exactly. I guess the other one I was looking at was Mari Cooper with the news of Deshaun going down for the season was the other one I was looking at there. So yeah, I was looking at it earlier and I was like, oh, I'm actually catching him in a good time. I had him the first game of the season and got him on that matchup, but I think both of us it wasn't anything special. We both were kind of low scores, and I just had the higher of the low scores, but. Yeah, it seemed like I'm catching them on a good week, and I kind of need it.
All right, little analytics about this lineup by this matchup. I mean, Marky Mark is 73% towards being perfect on his lineup setups, and FNG is 78.1%. So we'll see how that works out.
Yeah, I need to do something to bring that up a little bit this week for sure. Yeah, I'm just looking at. I got Addison on the bench.
That's what she said.
Yeah, there you go. Proper usage and everything. I'm just looking. I got Addison on the bench. I guess they.
Mark,
I don't.
What? Wait, what? Yes, I used your legal name. You have fucking Addison. Mark, sir.
I don't know. I'm not sure
what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, I might get him in there.
Dalvin Singletary in over Addison?
Come on, you saw what Singletary did last week.
Don't give a fuck. Like, Addison is the guy. If JJ doesn't play, you are playing Addison. Dobson dropped 25 points last week. He'll
probably work his way in there, but I'm just puzzled. That's why I went off on such a tangent. I'm scrolling down. I was like, why do I have Addison on the bench? So,
what the hell are you doing?
Well, maybe.
Addison averaging 12.5 points. Let's go see what Singletary's averaging.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, 6.2.
But you play the hot hand, and Pierce is out. Singletary's getting the usage, man. Yeah.
Studs.
Yeah. Well, I could put him in. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens here. I could put him in over, a couple other guys here. So we'll figure that out.
That was a don't need to do stop the tape kind of moment for me. So
I was just surprised. I was scrolling down. I was like, wait a minute. I traded for this guy to play him, and I put him on my bench. What the hell? So.
And then you have the gall to put Singletary in over him? Not on my watch, sir.
I still think Singletary's a good play. He'll probably stay in there, but somebody else may come out. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
I'm going on the record saying that is a mistake. Go ahead.
Do you think Singletary in the lineup at all is a mistake?
Yes. Yes, I do.
Okay. I
100%. I feel like that's a horrible idea.
It'd just be fun if I leave him in there and he goes off. Wouldn't
it be horrible if he stayed in there and fucking dumped it on you?
Just so you get the ridicule. All right. We got one more matchup to go over here, and it's not much of a matchup because it's between the Pooh Crew and Dr. Donkey and the Dumbass. I said that that the tips would not go winless.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll prove me wrong this week at all. It kind of seems like Poo He's getting the layup here. Uh, but I know the tips will give it all they got. Not just the tips, if you know what I mean.
That's exactly what she said.
They're going to give it all they got. But I don't know if they got it. What do you think here, man?
It's Wednesday, mind you, when we are taping this. You're listening to it on Thursday, unless you're Ian and he's already listening to it on Wednesday night at freaking 11:47. But Ian's got a couple questions. Barkley and Allen. Allen did leave, but he came back and still was productive. So I'm assuming that this is probably just a veteran Wednesday type bullshit, like that him not playing and they have to put him on the question report because he didn't freaking practice or what have you. But I mean, I would absolutely cherish a win from the Humpty Dumpty Dumbass crew, but sorry, my genie only has 3 wishes, and this is not going to be one of them.
We'd all love that. They've got some good young guys, but their roster's still maturing, and they've got some drafting to do. Stroud has been a good pick for him, man. Stroud is really tearing it up.
I mean, they drafted like 7 quarterbacks. They were going to get one of them right. Right.
Well, hey, they got a good one there, I think.
I agree.
But yes, I think it's yeah. Oh, you're talking about Keenan Allen. I guess it was an AC sprain. That's shoulder. Did you see there was a picture of him and they showed this knot. I'll try to do it. It's like he had like this going on in his yeah, they were interviewing him after the game and he had taken off his jersey and pads and he's got this knot like on his shoulder and they were talking about and one of the injury sites was talking about how he hadn't taken care of the shoulder injury that he got and that's why he had that big knot on his shoulder. So I would imagine it's that same shoulder, and it's just something he's been dealing with for a long time, So he could still, yeah, if you get a chance, man, look that up. Anybody that's interested, look, it was pretty freaky, man, because I hadn't even noticed it. I'm looking at the picture, and until they pointed it out, I was like, holy crap, he's got this big ass knot on his shoulder, and it's just they said it was just from not treating it properly way back when. He's been in the league, 13, 14 years now. So, but yeah, even if he can't start Allen, I think he's got options, right? I mean, he's got Metcalf, Downs is on bye. Deontay Johnson could be in there. I wouldn't put Christian Watson in because, like I said, I called him. I called it. He's not going to make it, man. He's not going to make it.
He's a glorified bust. Give him the stamp. But Jay,
he's not going to make it. I'm a dumbass, but I think I might get that one.
I mean, you don't need to look much farther from DK Metcalf. I mean, DK Metcalf. Right. If you got to put somebody in, DK Metcalf's the guy that you're going to put in.
Like I said, even Deontay with the volume he's got questionable again. That's the other thing with Deontay, man. It just seems like every game he's going out and getting checked out on the sidelines. So he's got the questionable tag right now. But yeah, he can put Metcalf in there easily. So I think he'll be all right. So hopefully the tips will prove me right this week, and they'll be 1-10. But I'm not putting any money on it. I'm gonna lay off the bets this week on this one.
Betting man is going the other way. Or betting the spread.
Yeah.
All right, so that's week 10 in review. Week 11, trade deadline. Dilly and I are the only ones that are representing the trade deadline, getting the trade over the line before said finish. If you are just tuning in and you went all the way to the end because the end's the best part, you should go back because Marky Mark was very nice to the Dylan in our matchup. Just saying, he was very, very nice. Go back to the trade. He's very nice. But I won't be nice moving forward because Ian, you suck.